Some landlords that come to us are sitting on hundreds of thousands of missed value. Not because they've done anything wrong, usually just been busy. Maybe you haven't reviewed your rent in years. Maybe there's a bit of compliance work that's fallen behind. But when it's time to sell or pass on to your family, those small gaps can make a big dent. Good news, it's fixable. We help you sort things now while it still makes a difference. We'll review what you've got, show where the money's being lost, and then get it back into shape so you're not underselling, overcomplicating, or passing on a headache. If you've spent 20 or 30 years building this, the last thing you want is to throw it all away at the finish line.
We start with a proper review of your whole portfolio. We look at the rental income, tenancy status, compliance, certificates, maintenance, everything that affects value. Then we run the numbers. Let's say you've got 10 properties and each one's £100 a month under market value. That's £1,200 a year per property. Now imagine a buyer looks at that. That £1,200 off the annual return might knock £12,000 off their offer. Times that by 10, you've just lost £120,000. And that's before we even talk about the impact of unprotected deposits, dodgy EPCs, or unlicensed HMOs. Once we know what needs fixing, we offer to take over management. We'll raise the rents where it's appropriate, we'll get compliance sorted, manage the tenants, and make the whole thing presentable. No mess, no stress. Just a clean, well-run, fully compliant portfolio that any investor will want to buy, or that your kids can inherit without panicking. From there, you've got options. Sell one, sell all, or keep them earning. Either way, you've protected your hard work and you've stopped the value from leaking out. A lot of self-managing landlords see our fee, think it's another cost. But the truth is, it pays for itself. We do all the stuff that you've been putting off, and suddenly the portfolio's performing again. And we don't need to rip everything up. We work with what you've got, and we get it working properly.
We worked with a landlord who'd bought up entire buildings over the years, forming a solid portfolio in South Liverpool. But when his health took a turn, what should have been a legacy felt more like a liability for his family. Too much to manage, not enough clarity. We stepped in, got things back in order, and gave them two clear paths. Keep it, fully managed, or sell it properly for what it's really worth. That's the kind of support that makes all the difference. You've spent years building this portfolio. Let's make sure it pays you back the way it should.